It kinda feels weird that the Sasuke retrieval mission was only 2 days, especially when Lee and Kimimaro get there in less than a day. Not only that, but it also feels like Naruto is at an even greater disadvantage during Final Valley. Sasuke's in his little box, having a good old nap, while Naruto's probably fighting for his life.
2 against 3, no sweat!
What do you mean it's 2 against 3?
You're right, it's 2 against 4. I like those odds even better.
Remember in the Chunin exams, like, during the preliminaries, Orochimaru was able to fight alongside Kiba because he was a ninja tool, or whatever? Well, I don't care, I told you. They treat Orochimaru here as another number, therefore making that fight against Naruto a 2v1, and in turn, unfair. Y'all called me crazy too, and I was never wrong. I was just early.
The most important thing is to at least get them in range before the sun goes down.
This doesn't really make sense. Not the idea of them having to catch them while the sun's out, that's explained and I will talk about it. More the fact that it's the most important thing on the agenda. Cause when they reach them and it's night, they just wait out the night like it's no big deal. So what's so important about catching them now if it was no problem waiting for day?
Must have run into more trouble than they expected.
Who cares about them? It's Orochimaru I'm worried about.
I like that the Sound Ninja 5 knew of this time limit going into the mission. It makes everything they've done make more sense. They probably wouldn't be underestimating the Sasuke recovery team or taking one-on-one fights if it weren't for that time limit.
We'll keep them in our sights, but we won't attack until sunrise.
I feel like this makes enough sense on its own. Like, Naruto and Kiba act like this doesn't make sense, but does it really need an explanation? When night, vision low. I don't think Shikamaru needs to explain that.
Don't forget what we're really after. We want to keep them occupied just long enough to get Sasuke out of there.
Okay, I don't think Sasuke's the thing we should be talking about here. What are these goofy-ass Charlie Brown sound effects? This time I'll kick that football to the moon, face ass.
What's the sense of attacking now, when my jutsu's no help?
I like that Shikamaru's jutsu has a natural counter to it. The fact he can't use it when there's not enough light is really cool and makes a lot of sense. Cause, you know, shadow only exists cause light bright. It does make me think though, if it's like really bright, is his jutsu faster or have a longer range? Like, let's say he used flashbangs. Could he make his shadow possession go like a whole mile under that light? So, you know how in Shippuden they kind of like struggled to find Orochimaru's hideouts? Well, you're telling me they wouldn't see something like this and be like, oh, that's probably it. Like, there's no way they didn't stumble upon this. It kind of stands out. What kind of interior design does Orochimaru have going on here? Just the ominous armchair, candles, and hella pots. Also, you can see Sasuke's curse mark here. What's weird though is that his curse mark is the heaven curse mark, which, as we learn in the Chunin exams, heaven symbolizes the mind while earth symbolizes the body. In other words, mental strength versus physical strength. And I feel like Orochimaru would be more focused on physical strength and in turn the earth curse mark. These shots have always stuck out to me. I think it's just the sheer amount of blood and the cuts all across his arms. Like, this isn't just that his arms can't be used, he's all cut up and over time he would bleed out and die. That provides a lot more severity to Orochimaru's situation and makes the new vessel seem quintessential. It also looks really cool. The lighting and the color give off old anime vibes. Honestly, the whole episode does, and I'll probably mention that later.
There are many other bodies ready for you, my lord. You may even use mine if you want.
Here's some cool foreshadowing. Realistically, in Shippuden, that's kind of what happens. Kabuto injects Orochimaru's DNA into himself and pretty much becomes him. He looks like him, he acts like him, and he even has Sage Mode. And while yeah, he's not actually a real vessel, Orochimaru still did come back cause of him. So technically, Orochimaru did live in Kabuto.
I've chosen several suitable vessels. I'll go get them ready. Shall I use Kimimaro?
I like that Kabuto thinks about using Kimimaro, cause that helps provide more setup to him and it leads to an official introduction. But what are these actual grunts? Ugly haircuts, one looks like Gaara, and they all just look like goofballs.
How would you like to be released from your imprisonment? Sadly, it's just one of you.
This is so sadistic. It really shows how many pawns Orochimaru has and what he thinks of them. They can really afford to sacrifice this many people just for a vessel. We haven't done first lines in a while, but here's a good one. Kimimaro says,
It's as I thought, isn't it? I wasn't chosen. Once again.
this shows his loyalty to Orochimaru, something that's prevalent within his character. Not only that, but we see he has a curse mark, and he looks to be hospitalized or possibly sick. It's also to note that, at this point, we've only heard about Kimimaro. He's one big mystery to us. So every single line and everything we see is crucial to his characterization.
He has a mark equal in power to your Earth Curse mark. He's been given the Heaven Curse mark.
I like that Kimimaro and Sasuke have opposite curse marks. It further connects the two and makes the idea of the curse mark seem even more planned out. It also makes the actual markings make sense too. Everyone's markings look different because their curse marks are technically different. By the way, now that we know about the Heaven and Earth curse marks, let's actually just compare Kimimaro and Sasuke. And just so you know, everything I mentioned was 100% intentional. Number 1, Sasuke has black hair, Kimimaro has white. Number 2, Sasuke has a Heaven curse mark on the backside of his body, while Kimimaro has an Earth curse mark on the front of his body. Number 3, both characters are heavily associated with their own clans. Number 4, both characters have Kekkei Genkai from said clans. Number 5, each character's clan have been almost completely wiped out. And number 6, both of them went to Orochimaru because of something related to their clan. And that's just the surface too, by the way. You can go so much deeper into their actual character and their actions within the story. As we learn more about Kimimaro in this episode and the ones following it, we see these similarities. And we see in real time why Kimimaro felt the need to get Sasuke. Like, they're so similar, and I think Kimimaro understood that immediately. I remember in Shippuden he told Jugo Sasuke was like his reincarnation or something. I don't think those are the words, but it's kinda similar. And that makes so much more sense if you just look at what they have in common, like, they're scarily close to each other.
I wonder which one of you's stronger.
I kinda like this debate. I'm not gonna sit here and try to find out who's stronger, cause I think that's gonna take a lot of time. But I might make a video in the future, cause it seems kinda fun weighing out the two. Anyways, Kabuto instigates like crazy here. Without this, I don't know if Kimimaro reflects on his purpose. And I think this conversation ends differently when without the idea of Kimimaro going after Sasuke. Is there any other reason for this being green other than the fact it looks cool? Just like the Orochimaru shower thing, it gives off old anime vibes. And that might be because, you know, this anime's kinda old.
Tell me truthfully, how much time do you think I have left?
This is also another big part of Kimimaru's character, and we learn it fairly quickly. Seriously, this is like his third ever line. And it's good we learn he has some sort of illness very early, cause, like I said, it plays a big part in his character and how he's treated for the rest of the story. And with this being one of the first things we learn about him, it makes us instantly think of it the second he's on screen. Very cool.
I've been wondering. There must be a purpose for people being born into this world.
Here's more Kimimaro characterization. We quickly see he's kind of philosophical. You can tell he's on the younger side since he's calling Kabuto sensei, but also cause this flashback is him as a kid. So hearing him go on about purpose makes him seem like he's someone who's not only wise for his age, but strong for it as well. Cause, and this is gonna sound weird, no weak person is going on about purpose. Which I know is weird reasoning, but any media literate person would probably pick up on that. Which means, of course, you did, cause you're just so smart. Everyone's saying that about you.
Finding our purpose is the meaning. That's why we're here.
I like that the first time we ever see Kimimaru's face, it's him as a kid. It gives a sense of innocence to him, one that wouldn't be felt if we saw him in the present. This in turn makes the viewer not see him as a real villain, even though he's on the antagonist's side. Like, very smart writing. Also, I was searching far and wide for what flower this is, and I've decided it's a white lily, I think. If it is a white lily, those symbolize innocence, which would subtly push the idea of Kimimaro being innocent.
At this moment, a new vessel is on its way. But unfortunately, it won't arrive in time.
Kabuto is such an instigator, but in his point of view, it makes sense to push Kimimaro in this direction. Kimimaro is terminally ill and on the brink of death, but he's also insanely strong. So at this point, as crazy as it sounds, Kimimaro is just a pawn. He's already on a time limit, so might as well make him somewhat useful. I also think this paints Kimimaro to be fairly innocent, cause it seems like he was manipulated into making this decision.
And who are you? I expected the other one. Well, whoever.
You fucking idiot. This is why I was calling them grunts, by the way. If I was a prisoner and the warden was a lunatic, I'd probably not be talking like this. I guess that's just me though. Something about these shots have always really spoke to me. Orochimaru's eyes thinning and the snake being above the grunt, they really show how he views the people following him. Grunts at his own disposal. Pawn pieces he just uses as stepping stones with no real empathy towards them. They're just objects, tools for him to get closer to his goal. It almost kind of sounds like the ninja world as a whole. Almost like Orochimaru's just a little more straightforward. The only difference with Orochimaru is we see it. The mask is uncovered, we see him as the psychopath he is. Also, on a side note, this shot is probably a lot more real and not just some cool symbolism. This grunt is probably feeling like he's a snake cause, in reality, that's kind of what he is.
Yes, you will be set free, and before that I will grant you one wish.
This is why Orochimaru's genuinely a psychopath. There's no reason for him to do this. He's only doing it because he can. He's got so many people at his disposal and so many things going his way that he doesn't care what this dude wishes for. No matter what, he's gonna be fine and it won't affect him.
You used my clan for your experiments. Let them go. That's my wish.
You ever think about the sheer amount of people Orochimaru has under him? He's got at least this guy's clan, a bunch of other grunts which we see later in Shippuden, Jugo, Suigetsu, Karin. During the Chunin exams, if he really wanted to destroy the leaf, like it was something he really wanted to do, he could've. He just wanted conflict in the process.
I thank you for your body.
You think there's a real reason Orochimaru had to make it painful? Other than the fact that he just doesn't care? Like, if he gave him a loopy drug right before, then Orochimaru would have been under the same drug later and, would have been geeked. To be honest, I think he just did it for the love of the game.
I was not meant to be the vessel. I was meant to find the vessel.
This twist is so cool. Like, we just got introduced to Kimimaro this episode, and now knowing he's gonna join the battle, it gives us this feeling of uneasiness. And that feeling is carried with us throughout the end of this episode and going into the next ones.
Hold on a second.
Okay, so this was 100% Sasuke starting to wake up, right? It's the only thing that makes sense. My question though is why does Tayuya then stop and treat it as if it was the Sasuke recovery team? They didn't make this sound, but she immediately turns around to them the second this happens. Okay, wait, hold on a minute. We all saw it. Let's not lie to ourselves. Non-dominant hand usage. I spun a wheel to decide how I handle this, and it decided I'm being nice. Just know, my headcanon explanation is 100% wrong. Naruto has the kunai in his left hand cause, somehow, he's better at throwing kunai with his left hand and punching with his right. You wanna see the most underrated Naruto feat? Here you go. He has 5 shadow clones here, then has 3 of them transform into Shikamaru, Akamaru, and Kiba. Then, he forms a Rasengan with the other 2. The amount of resilience that would take is insane, and it's something no other genin could do. Not Neji, not Sasuke, not even someone as crazy as Gaara could do this. Only him. The only reason it's not talked about is cause it's a diversion. Naruto does this little Kamehameha motion with his Rasengan. So, cool little Dragon Ball reference.
How are you supposed to hit anyone with it if you can't throw it?
Oh yeah, if only he threw his Rasengan, kind of like a shuriken? That'd be cool, why doesn't he do that? Cool touch, but Kiba and Shikamaru actually end up going after the same person they fight later on. Kiba technically goes against Sakon and Ukon, while Shikamaru takes over Tayuya's shadow. I don't know why, but this little thing Kiba does to grab the coffin is really cool. Just the way he grabs it looks sick.
Here, catch!
I like how this plus the last moment now put the Sasuke recovery team in the advantage, and I feel like the tone is perfect. It's seen as a big moment and gets you hyped, but it also doesn't seem as big as it maybe should, which, given the recent moments with Kimimaro, gives the viewer the sense that job's not finished.
Still to be happy about.
You're up too old.
Job's not finished.
Also, cool touch, but Naruto technically takes care of Sasuke here. Just like how Shikamaru took care of Tayuya and Kiba with, these two, which subtly sets up their fight. I like how they immediately go into stage 1. Like, they're not fucking around, they need to get him back. The ending to this episode is really good. You see Orochimaru in a new form, which is extremely unsettling. Like, it gives us a sense that that's what's gonna happen to Sasuke. Then, on top of that, you also see Kimimaro going after Sasuke, showing us...
Still to be happy about.
You're up too old.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
This episode is a really good break in my opinion. The last 4 episodes have consisted of 2 characters potentially dying, so having an episode dedicated to good dialogue and Orochimaru's whole deal is really good. Like, we see Orochimaru's whole body transfer shit and that's sick. Then Kimimaro introduced and he's a great character. And then the Sasuke recovery team yoinks Sasuke and that's a really good point to be at. This episode is kind of slow though, but it's a good slow. It's good they got all this out the way in one focused episode so we can just get back to it. Not to mention, the animation looks really cool. It has a very old style to it, the colors and lighting are really good, and that gives us a really good breather after the fucking disaster that was last episode. Anyways, yeah, good episode, good breather, W as they say. If you want to support me more than just watching this video, you can become a member on Patreon. And yeah, next episode, miscalculation, a new enemy appears. I have nothing to say about that.